Hello, I was looking here to show you the Big Bird in the library coloring here. As you see, Big Bird, and then along right here, as you got the bookshelf right here with the number of books. It could be about 48, 50 books that they say is on the shelves. It's like so far as for checkout, as so far as to check for checkout, or it could be just to take off the shelf and read. And you have it to where you got the envelope looking it's like a folder right here. It's like you can tell for book, and of course the way I arranged it was that it contains a number of pages. You got right here is the labels that are in different colors. But if we all remember, if we all go to the library, and I'm sure that we would all be familiar with a lot of things on here, is that what I have colored and written down is so far as for the e-reader, is that most of the stuff right here would have you would have access to it on it's like on a tablet. As so far as something like this that's measured probably at about say 8 by 10 inches, something like that, length and width. But you have like a little e-reader tablet that nowadays, with the way technology is, that a lot of places, where a lot of bookstores and stuff would have it to where you can log on using Wi-Fi connection and to read books that way. But of course, it's like what you say is you have say libraries nowadays that will give you options for how you like to read books. And of course, it's like, say, I don't know if I would say that, but compared to the old days, to the days now, that if we all remember, if we were to go to the library, that this right here would be like the stuff that you would normally see, so far as non-fiction to fiction stories, and then along with the study of the weather, and then along with the dictionary. And if we all remember that when we go to the library, that we would, a lot of times that you would ask a librarian, or if you were to get on the computers, which most of them would have like computers, and computers we can look up at different say different titles and stuff like that, in different categories. Type in a book title, and then it would tell you if they had it in stock, and then what row it would be in. And a lot of times that they would have it to where that the label would be titled as POLZT or something like that, and say parenthesis marks, or it could be dashes. That they have it titled like that, and then these little digital numbers, these little numbers, I guess that way they keep them organized. But if you were to go to the library and check out a book, or pull a book off the shelf and read it and sit down, and a lot of times is that more likely that you could probably say that the whole part about the library, which my parents used to take me to the library over there at the schools, that they had libraries to where you can go in there and check out a book, or you can read a book, or whatever, and just like get copies made, whatever it is. But a lot of times is that you probably say that you pull out a book, and then maybe you may want to read maybe a few paragraphs or whatever it is, or maybe just read one page and then go to another page. But a lot of times people will probably say that on the thickness of the book, that if the book is nearly 200 pages long, that you really don't want to read all that detail. That you really don't want to read all that detail about the book. A fact about is that whatever it's based on during so far as the story goes, and so far as the poem or the story and others, that you would read one article, you may want to skip a few chapters. And of course, it's like if you go to, say, they go by chapters, I guess fact about that one chapter, I guess, is equal to at least 78, maybe 87 pages or whatever it is. Maybe a little less than that, maybe about 15 pages, something like that. That I guess it all depends on whatever what type of book it is. If it's children's book, or it could be something related to the hot topics or something like that. Is say a fiction. It's like it could be science related, whatever type of a book it is that they would have it to where they would divide it into different chapters. And a lot of times is I think the highest it goes is chapter 8 or chapter 9, maybe chapter 10. I think chapter 10 may be the highest it goes to, but of course with my I went ahead and wrote down here going to the park, and then along with that love to dance, and then today's Monday study right, and then right on time homework for the night, and then along with the signature. But a lot of people would probably say that you go to the library, that you really you probably don't even want to write a few sentences with the pencil. It's like you got the mechanical pencil right here. You probably just don't want to spend a whole lot of time writing about what you read about, if you're asked to, or whatever it is. But more likely they could probably say that from all this reading right here, of course these are my old reading glasses right here. But so far with reading, as we all know that if we're all familiar with a lot of the stuff that we could be studying about, so far as say is the vision test, is that if I remember right, which if we all remember here, that if we were to take a vision test, they would blind one eye, and then that they would want you to look through these little goggle looking things, and then they would say read the words from up to the down lines or whatever you call it, and then if whatever you can read, if you get it wrong or right or whatever it is, they may prescribe a new pair of glasses for you. But on the other hand, that it's like this, like no matter if you pass or fail the vision test, you say this, to try again. Don't give up. It's like so far as that, as we all know that more likely we can't maybe be able to do everything that there is. That you kind of want to be like everybody else. That you want to kind of you want to aim for the best scores or whatever you call it. But more likely, there's a chance that if we do study right and do our homework, more likely that can happen to where you just gotta say concentrate on whatever work it is. But so far you got the planet right here, planet, and along with the flag, and then right here is you have you got the study so far as the brain, is that with your mind that really I would probably say that it's not really supposed to be like a mind twister to where it's supposed to confuse you in any way, such as math is like the way I think about with math, that a lot of times that people probably say that there's a lot of stuff right here, including science and language arts, so far as the weather, and then along with studying the recipes, and along with health, that a lot of times that people probably say, I just don't think that that's really just an interest to me. I just want to play games and hang out with my friends or whatever. But on the long run, this is really our future right here, is to know that whenever we study, that we are pretty much training our brain to be able to learn new stuff. And we say you learn new stuff about every day, and the way technology is moving, that we used to say is that more likely it costs us money about each and every day, each and every month and year, for these upgrades or whatever you call it. But was so far with Big Bird, that you say this is to know about what you want to read about, and say is reading and studying can be a lot of fun. You just got to put your mind up to it, just make it more fun and interesting. So far as as writing your own book, or say writing paragraphs and studying about stories and stuff that interests you. But so far with Big Bird, but whenever I remember that took me around to remember a lot of words, because it's like I had to spell a number of times just to be able to memorize about how they were spelled and so far where reading goes. But of course, it's like with me, I wore glasses almost all my life, and I'm kind of used to it, and more likely I would probably have been about 7 years old whenever I wasn't wearing glasses. But until then, I've been wearing them since then. And the fact about it is that try not to let that get to me, other than the fact about knowing about how smart you can be just by to know that the fact about the whole thing about library is you go to the library, and you can say learn a lot of things. You just got